Hello and welcome, it's Nick here. In this video, I'll be going through how to onboard onto Ethereum scaling solutions. We've covered these solutions quite a bit in the past, and these poise themselves to be quite a big theme throughout 2022 and beyond. So this is just designed as a quick walkthrough for those who would like a visual representation to follow along with, or if you're new to the space and unsure exactly how to use these scaling solutions. Essentially, they're just a way to reduce the level of congestion on the Ethereum network by moving transactions to other layers built on top of Ethereum. And this is why a lot of people will call them L2 solutions. So let's jump into the first one. The first one we have is Arbitrum. This is probably the most popular scaling solution at the moment. And the best way to bridge onto Arbitrum is through the Arbitrum 1 bridge. Now, keep in mind, if you do want to bridge some of your cryptocurrency onto Arbitrum 1, it will cost you some significant amount in gas. This really depends on the level of congestion on the Ethereum network at the time. So we can see that to deposit 0.1 amount of ETH will cost about 0.007 ETH, about $19 US. So we're just going to go ahead and confirm this, although there are options to edit your gas, as you will be aware, to perhaps set a lower gas price if you may want to save some money on your gas fee. We're just going to go through and confirm that right now. And the transaction will go as pending. So while that is pending, another way, and probably a better way, a more cost-effective way to bridge onto Arbitrum is to use centralized exchanges. When depositing via the Arbitrum 1 bridge, also keep in mind that it will take 10 minutes for you to see this balance in your L2 account. So don't be afraid if you go to do the deposit and it's not there. There's no need to panic. Just due to the current stage that it's in beta, it will take a while for you to see your balance, as there's an additional step involved. Once you also go to deposit, if you do go to lower your gas fee, just keep in mind that depending how low you do go, this will really affect how quickly you can get onto the bridge. So if you're doing something that is quite time sensitive, such as buying an NFT or participating in a particular drop or token event, and you want to get there quickly, I suggest using the current gas price, because if you do it lower, you obviously might miss out on what you're intending to use the bridge for. So one of the exchanges that currently offer withdrawal to Arbitrum is HOI Global. You can simply just choose your Ethereum token and cryptocurrency, and then enter your withdrawal address above here. As you can see that it only costs about $5 US to bridge outside and onto Arbitrum via the centralized exchange. Now, there are many other centralized exchanges too which have started to offer support for Arbitrum withdrawals and deposits, and that's OKX, Binance, and also Crypto.com. Some of these may have networks suspended, but I do know Crypto.com and HOI Global currently do offer instantaneous and active withdrawals. As you can see, this can save you quite a bit of money versus using the centralized exchange, versus using the bridge. Now, if you go to the Arbitrum 1 portal, you can sort of get a rundown of all the on-ramps that are available. We also have other ways to onboard directly onto Arbitrum, and that is using Banxa. This is just a fiat on-ramp which connects credit cards directly to Arbitrum. This obviously incurs higher fees, so you will be paying more to deposit and your cryptocurrency this way, or to buy ETH. and directly go onto the block, onto the Arbitrum. So 2% fee can be quite high, especially as you're getting into the thousands or hundreds of dollars. So if you're looking for the most cost-effective way, definitely bridge via these centralized exchanges. And again, if you just do not want to touch centralized exchanges, use the Arbitrum 1 bridge. Now we have Optimism, which is another of the scaling solutions which have popped up and have seen increased development, and we'll see a lot more development throughout this year. They have a similar way to deposit. Optimism is currently doesn't have as many centralized exchanges, which makes it more difficult to bridge over to. But this year will be a big theme where you will see more centralized exchanges such as your Coinbase or your Binance, allowing you to deposit directly to optimistic Ethereum. So just to show an example here, we've got 0.2 ETH, which we will deposit into the bridge to move it over. Now we can see gas fees are quite high, so it's about $35 to do this. You can set your gas fee lower if you want to save some money and don't mind if it takes longer to process. But for this moment, we will just go ahead and confirm that transaction. Like Arbitrum, they have a range of different bridges that you can go to, and you can see and how to interact with the network and what is supported. Currently, there's very little bridges at the moment, especially if we're looking at centralized exchanges. But like Arbitrum, you can use a similar service such as Bunker to deposit or to buy cryptocurrency to go directly to Optimism. So we also have different explorers that you can use for these networks, because each will have their own process of processing transactions and displaying what's going on its network. This is done via OBScan, which you can see here, and you can just type in your address and this will display your balance for the Arbitrum network. Similar can be done for optimistic Ethereum, and they have their own block explorer which you can use and navigate via the official optimism.io link. Obviously, it's important to understand that these are in beta at the moment. If we look to Arbitrum, we can see it's still in beta, so there are risks associated with that. To view the cryptocurrency now via your MetaMask wallet, you'll need to change your network. This is, I've already done this for optimistic Ethereum and Arbitrum networks, but if you have yet to add the network, you simply just need to go to add network here, and then you'll find via the Optimistic Ethereum Help Center a way to connect to Optimism. You simply just input these details or click the connect button into the form here, and once you've done that, you will be able to view your balances on optimistic Ethereum. Alternatively, with Arbitrum, you have a Help Center here tutorial where you can navigate and add the Arbitrum 1 network. Like the example here, you just simply need to copy and paste these details into the add a network. Once you've done that, you will be able to simply view the cryptocurrency that you've bridged over to both Ethereum, both to Arbitrum 1 and then to optimistic Ethereum. So we can see our 0.1 ETH is there in Arbitrum, and then our 0.2 ETH is there on optimistic Ethereum. Now we have bridged our Ethereum over, and we can begin to start trading and looking at these ecosystems. Now we've bridged cryptocurrency onto Arbitrum and optimistic Ethereum, we can begin to look at different other platforms and different utilities that we can use to transfer cryptocurrency from different rollups. So as we know, rollups are just a way and the technology underpinning the scaling solutions, such as Arbitrum or Optimism. And we can begin to transfer between these two. So if you transfer your cryptocurrency onto Arbitrum, it means that it's not just siloed on these particular layer 2 solutions, and you can actually transfer in between them. How to do this? You use cryptocurrency protocols such as Hop Exchange to trade and to move your cryptocurrency between these different networks. So we start by trading and going to Arbitrum. We will trade and transfer just 0.05 ETH, and we will send it to Optimism. Why you may do this is because Optimism, as we discovered, has very little fiat on-ramps. So a good hack is to use or perhaps deposit your funds from a centralized exchange such as Huobi Global to Arbitrum. This way you can then simply transfer your cryptocurrency from Arbitrum to Optimism. This can save you quite a bit of money in gas because, as we know, moving funds from Ethereum L1 is very expensive. So we've got 0.005 ETH, or we can do 0.05, and there will be a fee that LPs and Hop protocol do take, and then there is an added small gas fee on top of this. So this is about $1.50 US, so relatively small when we are looking at very large Ethereum gas prices on the main layer. So what we do here is we just go sends, of course making sure we are on the Arbitrum network. Once we get onto and connect to this, we just have to pass through the gas fee that we will be having to pass through. So this is about 0.01 ETH, so that's probably about upwards of $3 to $5 US. And we go confirm. Of course you can change this through your gas fee, but we will stick to the suggested. It goes through about 20 confirmations, and when it's done, you will see the amount pop up in your optimistic Ethereum wallet. If we look at our MetaMask balance now, we can see via optimistic Ethereum that the transaction has went through via Hop protocol, and we now have 0.2493 ETH, which was cents. So you can pretty much do this with a range of different cryptocurrencies such as USDC, USDT, Matic, or DAI, making it very easy to transfer cryptocurrencies from protocol through rollup to rollup. It's also importantly knowing that there is a 7-day window for withdrawals via optimistic Ethereum or via Arbitrum. This is just due to the underlying nature of the rollup, which are called optimistic rollups, whereas you don't have this issue when we will be using zkSync in the next tutorial. So we've had a look at optimistic rollups such as Arbitrum and optimistic Ethereum. These have the 7-day window where you're unable to withdraw your funds, and it takes a while for the funds to go through the withdrawal process. Another option and another scaling solution which is poised to have really strong growth and a lot more attention on it in 2022 is zkSync. This is a different rollup known as ZK rollup. This really just depends on the underlying technology underpinning it all. We've got a resource that I've linked in the post below, so you can get up to speed and just get a bit more familiar about what the differences may be. With ZK rollups, you don't have to wait the 7-day withdrawal window. Alternatively, you do not need to add any other networks to your MetaMask. You simply just need the Ethereum mainnet. So we've went to zkSync wallet here, and you will be brought to this page here where it just displays our balances on the L2. As we have not deposited any funds there at the moment, we just need to add some. So simply go to add funds. We see how much it will take in gas costs, about $16. So for example, we'll do 0.1 ETH and we will go add funds. You can do this through a different amount of tokens. So we'll go add funds and we should get a prompt via our MetaMask wallet. As always, you can change the gas fee through here, but I suggest just sticking to it. And we can go confirm. Now this will send a link to our transaction, and we will be able to get that through shortly. As we can see, it's just went through fairly quickly. And via zkSync, you can also use NFTs or mint or add different contracts. We can see that our ETH has successfully transferred now and bridged over to zkSync with that 0.1 ETH. Now, if you wanted to avoid doing the bridge, your other way to add funds is by using the fiat on-ramps via Ramp or Banker. These, though, have very high fees, 3 to 5%. So it's very careful. You will lose probably a lot in the difference and being eaten up by fees via onboarding with a large amount via a credit card. There are some positive signs in the future though, because OKX did announce a partnership with zkSync back in November, stating that the first objective is to support direct fiat on and off ramps via zkSync's layer 2 via the exchange. So this just takes out the expensive middle step of depositing and withdrawing through Ethereum main layer, which of course, as we've seen, has a dramatic cost involved. So I expect this in the future with more cryptocurrency exchanges to offer support to zkSync. And we've already been leading the way with Huobi Global, for example, who are already actively supporting Arbitrum withdrawals and deposits. Now, if you do want to trade via zkSync, probably the most common and earliest exchange is ZigZag exchange. And we can just do a quick tutorial here in that we just need to connect our wallet. Again, just doing our sign, ensuring that it is the correct link as well. Common thing is just to go to the ZigZag exchange website or Twitter or official channels to look for that official URL. And we just need to simply sign over our exchange, and then we can see our balance there. For your first connection though, you need an authorization, and that's what we just did there. So it was only a tiny one, like 0.03 ETH, and that is the only time you will need to pay that. The exchange is pretty bare bones at the moment, but it is a practical example of how you can actively trade on Ethereum L2s. And it will just depend on how much quantity of cryptocurrency you want to trade. So in summary, the most cost-effective way to bridge onto Ethereum scaling solutions such as Arbitrum is to use centralized exchanges. Now, as we stated, they're only supporting Arbitrum at this point, with no support for Optimism and zkSync. Alternatively, we have shown how to bridge directly from Ethereum main layer to Arbitrum 1 and to Optimism. And then we've shown how to use Hop Exchange to send and transfer cryptocurrency between rollups. And finally, we've went through how to onboard and how to deposit and bridge funds from Ethereum L1 to zkSync. Now, this is a good start if you want to get into these Ethereum scaling solutions, because in the coming months, there should be a growing ecosystem of apps and dApps which are deployed, and you'll be able to trade on these platforms with lower fees compared to Ethereum L1. So I look forward to any more future tutorials that will hopefully come out, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.